Good morning everyone, welcome back to a new day on Kleines land. You join us at 7:20 in the morning. We are up with the early birds today. We are indeed catching that worm. Or to be more precise, we are ploughing up a field to catch the worm. In what used to be my forested area. I'm just running over it with the cultivator at the minute just to kind of get rid of all the scrub. And then I'll come in later on today with the tiller and the ripper, kind of give it a plough, get some lime on it, some fertilizer on it, and we've got ourselves a nifty little field again here. Very nice. And indeed we've actually now got this field for what is essentially free. We paid £70,000 for 2 fields previously, and out of this one field alone I think we got about £90,000 for the timber that was in it. So yeah, not only did we buy the land, we've made money on buying it. We've having to do a bit of work for it, of course, but you don't expect to get it for free. So this isn't really preparing it for seeding or anything. I could go on and seed it now, but this is leaving it so it needs ploughed, it needs lime, it needs fertilizer. So this is really just me running over it right now to kind of try and show the shape of it. Those little toadstools are still there, they didn't disappear. I wonder how I make them go. That's new, I've never seen that before. I wonder, did they just not get clipped with it, but everything around them's been ploughed in, so I kind of assumed I got them. I'll give it one last go with this, but no, I'm pretty sure they don't, they don't disappear. Let's get this folded up again. Now we'll see my crop in here has come on quite a bit overnight, but that one's ready to go now. I have nothing else left to do to that. So once it goes ripe, we'll be able to get the harvester in on it. We've also got a fully ready field of grass now as well, although in saying that, my silage pit's still full, so there's no real point in cutting it because I've got nowhere to put it at the minute. What I will do is I'll try and get in here and put this thing away in the corner of this shed. I really need to get my dead zones worked out as well, because I'm turning the wheel and not always does it turn the wheel for me. But we're in, we are in, we've got it in there, so just need to get round and pick up the ripper now too, and go in and essentially plough that field. I'll start off taking this as a run around the headlands. I don't know if a helper will be able to do this for us because it is kind of a brand new field that hasn't really been defined as anything, so I don't know how the system will cope with that. But it's pretty small, it's a fairly wide ripper, so it won't take us too long to get through this. That's the last bit of this one done. Nicely ploughed field. Oh, just left it out of the ground as well. Don't want to be dragging that down the road. Still can't get rid of those toadstools in it, so seems to be something that's going to be there forever now. I could try going over it with the mower or something. I could certainly get rid of it with the you know, the edit terrain tool, the texturing tool or something. I'm sure that will get rid of them, but I don't mind them being there. So I think we're going to have toadstools in that field from now on. And I'll just take a quick check. I'm not too sure if that field counts as being cultivated now or not as well, because I have already ran over it with the cultivator, but I'm not sure if it needs another go. So it's showing as plowed. It doesn't show as cultivated, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to seed into it. It'll only take 5 minutes to run the cultivator over it again. So what are we going to put in this one this time? We just did some canola. What in this one? I think we've got soybeans in this one. Yeah, it's soybeans. For the last crops, oat, barley. We haven't done any corn. Could do some corn in this one. It means having to go out and get a new header for the combine, but we can rent a header. That's okay. We're rich at the minute since we got all this newfound forest wood. So yeah, tell you what, we'll do some corn in here. We'll put some corn in number 2 whenever it's finished again, and number 3 actually needs turning around as well. It's ready. So I can put some corn in that, and we can do a big corn harvest to finish with. That should be ready. It doesn't need anything. No, so it doesn't need ploughing, doesn't need fertilizing. It's good to go. Right, that's settled then. So we're going to finish up the big corn harvest on Kleines land. Lovely. Cultivator, that's what I'm looking for. So I've got a brain like a sieve. I just said all of that and then completely forgot it was the cultivator that I'm looking for next. Yeah, rather than putting this back in the shed, I could have just left it out beside the field and it would have saved me a lot of trouble trying to get it reversed in there. But we've gone in and out again, we're good. As I say, this should take no time at all just to run this cultivator around this field. And get it unfolded. There we go, we're in the ground, we're good, we're going. Oh, a planter, that's the other thing then. If we're going to do corn, we'll have to get a planter in because I've only got a seeder at the minute. But yeah, that's okay. As I say, we're rich at the minute, we can afford it. I'll hire one. I'm not worried too much about buying it. For one more harvest, we may as well do something a little bit different. Well, I'm sure those of you with a keen eye will notice that I am not in the same field anymore. And indeed, you would be correct. I've just nipped across to field number 3, because whenever I finished the other one, I did remember this one also needed cultivating, just after the canola harvest, so I figured I may as well nip across and do it whilst I've got the cultivator on. No harm done. 2 jobs done for the price of 1. Catch this little bit. There we go. I think that's us done in this one. Don't see any missed bits anywhere, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we're good. And that should be us finished with Mr. Cultivator up until the time of the soybean harvest, so I can get her tucked away back in the shed again now. Let's see if I can do a tidier job off it this time. Get it right up against that wall as tight as I can. And we're going to get it into the corner. No, oh, I spoke too soon, I spoke too soon. There we go, come on. Just creep round, there we go. A little bit more. There we are. Now, the new field, the old forest field, does need lime and it does need fertilizer as well. So seeing as how I've got some fertilizer in the spreader, I should be able to go and throw a course on that first, and then depending on what planter I get, oh, not lined up very well there at all, depending on what planter I get, if I get one that does fertilizer as well, then it'll be ready to go. Well, once a bit lime on it too. I think I should have a stock of lime. I know I did have a large stock of lime, but whenever I did field 2 last, it actually used quite a bit as far as I remember. But I should have enough left to do this small one. I need to go and look at selling some eggs as well. Eggs and milk, actually, that's 2 things I really need to do today, is eggs and milk. So, I'm not sure if that is taking that actually. Just have a look. It's taking it in places. So fertilize needs lime, turn that off, turn that off. Yes, it is taking it. Just some places it's kind of taking it as its second harvest. I think that's probably the bits where I've ran over it with the stump grinder and it's mowed up some grass. I think usually if you've mowed grass on it before, it kind of counts that as one stage of fertilization. But it's all good. By the time this gets planted, and it should be fully fertilized. It does look a bit patchy at the minute, but that's alright. It'll come good in the end. Come on, car, out of the way. One thing I have seen in FS22, the traffic definitely goes a lot quicker. That was something they said was going to happen, and it most definitely has. It looks like almost we'll be slowing down the traffic now. So I wonder if I can dump this fertilizer off in here. Try and put it somewhere that it won't be in the way too much. There we go. Oh, one of them only had 39 left in it. That's a pity. So my lime, that's not lime. Or is that lime? Let me just jump out and have a look. I think that's fertilizer. What does it say? Yes, that's fertilizer. And that's lime, and quite a bit of lime in there. Just make sure it is taking the lime and not the fertilizer. It is. I'll still put quite a bit in, because it always does take a lot more lime than what you think it will. Will that do? I'll try it at that. And actually those 2 bags of fertilizer then will do nicely for the seeder whenever I get that down. Does have a pretty good working width, this spreader, especially on lime. It seems to spread that further than it does the fertilizer. I'm not sure if that's actually right, or if it's just, it looks like it spreads it further to me. I think I'll definitely need to go back for another little top up. Yeah. But I won't need too much more. If I'd probably been a bit tidier with it, I maybe could have, no, maybe couldn't have squeezed it all out in that, but I wasn't far off. And in we go. Just got a little blip there. And here we are. more than enough this time. I think I'll just make sure I empty it out on this field rather than taking back 100 litres. There we go. So now I don't need a huge planter, though field number 2 is a relatively big field, so I don't need anything small either. I don't want anything like the 3-metre varieties. So I'll go for at least the 6-metre planter. I assume this tractor will be strong enough to pull it. That's probably good enough there for all I need. I'll get it in there. There we go. So let's have a quick look in the shop for planters. Right. Ooh, what's this one? This one looks fancy. 60,000. It's fairly expensive as well. Little John Deere one. Oh, I can configure capacities. So does it do fertilizer? Does it do solid fertilizer or liquid fertilizer? Let's just go back. What does the picture say? It looks like it says it does solid fertilizer. And we can up the capacity. Okay. We'll always go second hand, save ourselves a few pennies. £8,000? Yeah, go on ahead, I'll buy it. What's that? That was only a couple of trees. We can afford that. So, round to the shop in our nice white tractor. I'm sure by the time we get up there, the line will have all fallen off. Well, I didn't actually look at the horsepower requirements, but it's not a huge planter, so I'd like to think this is more than capable of pulling it. I think it's 225 horsepower, this tractor, so I can't imagine it wouldn't be. I do need to sort out this spawn point in here, because everything just spawns the wrong way around, and it makes getting out very difficult. And considering this planter looks about the same width as that entrance, no, we're out, we're out. Just hope we don't meet anything coming down the road now, because we're going to take up the entire width of it. So, can we take this? Kind of looks like we can. It's saying no, we can't. Oh no, no, it is taking it. Oh, hang on. I want to take it from the other one first, because the other one only has a little bit in it. And we may as well empty that one out. So, come on, you get a little bit closer, and we'll use you up first. There we go. Don't want any more fertilizer in it, I just want seeds. So if I push this pallet back, super strength, and pull this one forward, I should hopefully be able to squeeze this in there and not pick up the fertilizer. Just much more natural whenever you're doing it in first person view, because it's much more like real life. It does spin very quick, this, very quick. There we go, we're in, and we're filling up. Happy days. Now, it doesn't have a big seed hopper on this at all, so yeah, 360. It might not have been the best purchase in the world, this, because we are going to be back and forward quite a bit, refilling our seed. It's like a little slalom course, this, trying to avoid everything that I've now set in the way down here. I still clip something, but we're out, we're out. Can we get in front of the cement mixer? Yeah, loads of space, loads of space. Ooh, just about. A bit lower down, and there we go. Corn is going in. Oh, we've missed a bit already. So I haven't actually done a corn harvest for quite a while now on Farm Sim. seems to be one of those things I keep missing out on, so yeah, it'll be good to get back into this again. Need to visit the shop again, have a little look and see what header suits the combine that I have, but it's a fairly good combine, so should be able to get something a half decent working width on it. It's not going to be huge by any means. Well, that's one more job pretty much done and dusted. We're going to have used, what's that, just over 100 litres of corn? Or 100 litres of seed. So yeah, definitely need filling up. It might actually do all of field 3 in one go. It's probably, yeah, field 3 is not twice the size of this one, is it? So we might be alright. I'm going to obviously refill between fields. But I was thinking we're going to be running backwards and forwards and filling up a lot. Maybe corn just doesn't use a lot of seed whenever you're planting. Tractor is absolutely filthy now though. It is completely brown. If I can get it to drive in a straight line. We'll top up the fertilizer whilst we're here. We may as well be driving past it. Go on. Might all fit now as well. Oh, we're stuck to 141 litres yet. Too tight, not too tight. There we go, we've got it. So my grass is fully ready as well. It does need cutting, but as I said, the side pit's still full, so I don't really know what to do with it. I maybe should have made the small field into grass. And put this one into corn, but even still I would need to have cut the grass and I have nowhere to put it at the minute, so yeah, it'll be fine. I'll just have to wait a few days until I get round to it. So with this one I am going to put this one onto a worker and let them deal with it. Just do a little bit of the headlands here first, because I know they can struggle. Especially whenever there's houses and fences around, and that was much too late to be turning out of that. Right, he should be able to run straight down there now. Hopefully he'll avoid those trees. The reason I wanted to put that one onto the worker and let them carry on with that is I need to do some JCB action. I need to do some JCB action just because it's fun to be in the JCB, but also our greenhouses are out of everything, need some manure and need some water as well. But we said before we need to sort out the milk and whatnot with the cows, so I need to go and get the tanker and whatnot attached anyhow. Can't do that whilst the tractor's still working, so I may as well sort out the manure in the meantime. Hopefully we have some manure around here now. The cows should be producing some. Won't be an awful lot, but if I can get some into it at least, it keeps the money ticking over in it. So what have we got? We've got a little pile. I'm not sure how much this bucket holds now, I can't remember, but if I remember right, it was quite a bit this bucket holds. Well, there's 4,000 litres anyway, and we still have some left over. Yeah, I'd say we probably have at least another 1,000 litres sitting there. Oh, sorry car. Should really look in my mirrors before I pull out onto the road. Okay, so we'll start off with a couple of 1,000 litres in each of this, hopefully, if I can manage to get myself manoeuvred around and squeezed in. Both greenhouses have stopped at the minute. They are, I think, both completely out of manure, and they are very, very low on water as well. I know I had a bit of difficulty last time just lining myself up in here. It seems to be quite a sensitive trigger, so hopefully this will actually go in. Is that going into it or just spilling around it? Nope, I think it is going in. So if we get this up to about 2,000. There we go, stop there, leave some for the other one. At least then it's pretty 50-50. I think that'll actually go in at that. There we go. Oh, careful of the glass. Careful of the glass. Yeah, we're in. We are going in. So, how does that actually fill them up? What do they look like now? So, 69%. So it must hold about 3,000 litres. Well, we definitely don't have another... Well, I don't think we've got another 2,000 litres in storage down there. We'll take another little drive down and see what we have. Well, wouldn't you know, it was pretty much typical. The one time that I didn't take you down to it with me, I pretty much guessed spot on. We did have just over 1,000 litres left, and I think that's what I said I thought we had in that pit. So yeah, so the one time that I'm not actually there to gloat about it is the one time I got it right. That's sod's law really, but see if I can split this 500 litres into each trough. Ooh, tiny bit more. Go on, go on, go on. A little bit. There we go. The helper's not too far away now as well. Oh, helper B has now completed their task. Hopefully they have actually completed their task, because whenever I was picking up this manure, they didn't have an awful lot left to do. So by the time I get driven back down around, I'll have a little look and see if they need any help tidying a few bits off. If not, we'll get the tanker on the back of that tractor and get some water ferried up to here as well. There we go. Let's sort them out, help them a little bit. It is very blind trying to reverse this thing. I don't know how you're supposed to do this in real life. Okay, well he's actually done a pretty good job, and haven't ran out of corn either. So pretty much a full load has done this whole field. Just needs a little bit tidying up here at the bottom, and the same again across the top. But I'm not entirely surprised about that, because it's the bit where he turns out early because he's afraid of crashing into the houses. And I think he's done the same thing up here, where he's got the fence to glide with. Just a little strip, but yeah, that's really good, and it's going to work out pretty much perfect size wise for this planter. Now whenever it comes to doing field 2, obviously I'm going to definitely have to fill up then, because it's probably twice the size of this, but it looks like one fill up may do the whole thing. That's good, that's good. Everything's positive at the minute. I really need to get this tractor washed now, though. It is quite literally covered in muck from head to toe. Pick up the rest of this fertilizer now. It should almost certainly fit in there. Yep, and there should be enough in that to do all of field 2 whenever it comes time as well. So swing this back in round and pick up some more seed. It does turn so quickly, this thing. Let me get a decent turn out of it. Now it's wonderful how brown the tractor is, but how beautifully shining white those rear rims are. Right, now come on, I just want a little turn. Just give me a little turn into that shed without going completely sharp. Wow, jackknife so quick. But I think I'm in. Come on. There we go. Drop you off before I do anything. This thing's getting awash. Even if it's just to wipe off some of that dirt. I don't think I've ever seen the tractor that dirty before. And people know that we drive a Ford. Lovely. Now I'll give this a little rinse down as well then whilst we're here. So I can't remember if we ever actually experimented properly and saw if I had a water refill point up with the horses or not. Horses are still doing pretty good at the minute. We don't actually need to go to them, but I'm interested to see if that is a water refill point. Tell you what, we'll go round and we'll try it. If not, then we'll stop off at the beach and get some water in there and top up those greenhouses. But we can't go all this time through this map and not explore and not see if this actually is a refill point. Nope. Or at least if it is, it certainly isn't showing me anything. I completely forgot I still had a loan on this, £45,000. So, because we're so flush at the minute, and we did so well with that wood, I am now debt free. Essentially, spending £70,000 got me out of debt. As strange as that sounds, it seems to be how it's happened. And again, because I have so much money, rather than going down to the beach, what I'm going to do is put a little water standpipe in up here. There, I'll put it to the side of that, just in the scrubland. That'll save me driving backwards and forwards to the beach. It's a bit unrealistic if I'm just parading through the middle of a hotel ground trying to get some water out of the sea. Oh wow, that's super quick as well. Takes a lot longer to pump it out than it does to pump it in. And what did we end up manure wise? 87%. Oh yeah, so we're good for a couple of days in that. Yeah, cows definitely aren't producing enough manure to keep on top of these greenhouses. Could probably run one off them full time in what they're producing, but certainly not two. That's why they need to buy a bit more manure or up the cow stock. And I think probably upping the cow stock is now the way to go. I've got the money to invest in them. I have the facilities to make the TMR, make them really productive. We have loads of straw in stock, so there's no problem getting them to produce manure. Need to actually probably top that up a little bit, throw them in another bale and make sure they don't run out. Get this boy back in. Oh no, I keep going to the wrong place for this. This is where I actually want to be. Oh, we're going to have a full tank plus more. So where are we going with this? And we need milk. Milk, it's going down, but it's still a decent price. Sea Hotel, that's just round the corner to us, isn't it? Yeah, so we shall go for that one. Make sure I'm going to the actual right one. I'll just tag it just to be sure. So again, this will finish us off for this episode. We'll do this load of milk. I will take the other milk down as well. We'll just make sure we're completely empty, and then we come back again. By then, hopefully our soybeans are ready to go. We'll look at getting that field harvested and turned around with some corn to match the other ones. And then for the final episode, we'll get into a large corn harvest and hopefully wrap things up and then break into FS22 very, very soon. So guys, thank you so much for watching. As ever, this is Walter P. Barnstormer. We're on Kleines land at the minute and we are making loads of money. We're selling all this milk, and what did we get for that? £7,800. Wonderful. Okay, if you like the video, please do those normal YouTube things, like, share, subscribe, give us a thumbs up down below, drop us a comment, do whatever you want. We will see you next time on Kleines land, or probably the last time. Not promising that, there may be one more yet, or there may be one more after that, but we're getting towards the end. Okay folks, see you later. Bye now.